We all want to be more productive because more productivity usually means that we get more things done throughout our day, which in turn leads to more or bigger results, which can be more money because you have your own online business and you are self-employed, or it can be recognition by your boss because you're handing in so many completed tasks, or it's just the fulfillment and the pleasure of being able to get so many things done throughout our day. Whatever it might be, in this video I will tell you the 11 powerful tips to be more productive and get more done in less time. Hi my friend, my name is Robert Hurd and I want to welcome you to Your Best Self, the YouTube channel that helps you become the best possible version of yourself, one video at a time. If you're completely new to this channel, consider subscribing if you're into personal development, becoming your best self, and living a better life in freedom, happiness, and joy. With that said, let's get into the video and the 11 powerful tips to be more productive and get more done in less time. Tip number 1, find your peak time. Now, some people are simply more productive in the morning time, whereas some people work late and get more things done there. It depends on your type of personality and where you get more things done, but determine the time where you feel the most productive and you have the most energy to work on the things that actually matter. For me personally, it's in the morning hours because that's where I do my morning routine and prime my day to be a good one and have the most willpower to be working on the things that I actually need to be working on in order to make progress in life. But for you, it might be in the nighttime or also in the morning time. So figure that out for yourself. Find out what your peak hours are and do the most important work during those hours. Tip number 2, prime your day to be a good one. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people tend to react to the world first thing in the morning. Instead of proactively setting the intention of how they want to live their day, they react to the things that come their way. That means they take out their phone and they check all the notifications on Facebook, on Instagram, maybe they check their emails, and now they get into this reactive state. They check out their emails and now they're like, oh, I need to reply to that email. Or maybe they have notifications, somebody liked their picture or commented on something, or somebody posted a new story on Instagram. So now they react and they click on that and now they're looking at all the feeds of people. This is not a good way to start the day because that is going to get you into this reactive state. So instead of doing that, you should proactively set the intention of how you want to live the day. What I love to do in the morning is to meditate for 15 to 20 minutes because it gives me the ability to get into this positive state of being. When I get off the meditation, I feel so inspired and just ready to, have a good day that I'm doing the things that I need to do, which usually is continue with my morning routine and to journal and read and then get to work. So instead of checking your phone the first thing in the morning, get yourself into a positive state, however that might work for you. Maybe go for a walk or a run outside, do some exercise, take a shower, read, meditate, just to get into this positive state of being. Because if you start our day not in a good mood and just reacting to the world, the whole day can be impacted by that mood in the morning. So really start your day and prime your day to be a good one, and you're going to be more productive throughout the day. Tip number 3. Plan your day ahead. Now this is very, very important and incredibly powerful because each 10 minutes of planning is going to save you up to an hour of execution. Because if you plan your day ahead, not only will you know exactly what you're going to be doing on the next day, but your brain will actually start working on the things that you have put on your to-do list. So now you're not going to be waking up in the morning and be like, all right, so what am I going to be doing today again? And now you're going to be thinking and thinking and thinking about all the things that you need to be doing on that day. So instead of doing that, you're going to be planning your day ahead the night before, and now you're going to wake up knowing exactly what you're going to be doing. Just doing this alone has helped me a lot to be more productive throughout the day. Try it out. It's going to save you a lot of time. Tip number 4, have a clean workspace. I think we all know or experienced it at some point where a super messy workspace resulted in us not being super productive and just being distracted all the time by all the things that are laying around on our desk. Because it's just so messy and we do not have enough space for our arms. We have papers laying out, all over the desk, and it's just so distracting and not a good environment to be working in, which is why you need to clean that up. Just get rid of all the things that you do not need and just put your laptop in front of you or a journal or whatever it is that you need to get your work done, and you will be so much more productive with having a cleaner workspace. Tip number 5, which kind of goes hand in hand with having a clean workspace, is to get rid of all the distractions. And by that, I mostly mean your phone. Because just having your phone next to you, looking at you, you tend to look at it all the time and be like, let me just quickly just check it, just for like 5 minutes. It's just like a little addiction that we have. And even worse, when the phone is not on plane mode and is giving you all those notifications and perhaps vibrating or even giving you a sound, you are doomed because you will need to check what is there because perhaps it is important. Just by getting rid of your phone for the period of time that you're going to be working on your tasks is going to make it so much more productive because you're not going to be mentally checking the phone all the time. So get rid of that. Just put it away in a drawer or just, behind you where you cannot see it. And also close down all the tabs on your laptop that you do not need for your work. Close down YouTube unless you're listening to some study or some focus music, but close it down if you do not need that and just focus on the things that you need to be working on. Just getting rid of all the distractions that might stop you from being productive and getting yourself into this flow state is going to boost your productivity a lot. Tip number 6. Set up a SHOWTIME trigger. Now, what is a SHOWTIME trigger? Sometimes we have things that trigger us into getting into work or just showing us now is the time to focus and do the work. One of the triggers that I have set up for myself is this hourglass right here, which is 30 minutes, and whenever I turn it over, it means to me that I need to be working right now. Because after 30 minutes, I can take a break. But this 30 minutes, the time is running, the time is ticking, and I need to get shit done. Another SHOWTIME trigger that I have is putting on contact lenses to be recording those videos because I cannot use my glasses because they would reflect in the camera because of the ring light that I have. So now I need to put on contact lenses, and whenever I do that, it's showtime, baby, because then I need to be working on videos, otherwise I would be just wasting contact lenses all the time. So this is another SHOWTIME trigger that I have. And you can set up those SHOWTIME triggers for yourself. Maybe it's a piece of clothing that you put on which gets you into the mood of working. Maybe it's a certain song that you listen to before you get into work because it motivates you so much. Perhaps it's a certain dance that you do that gets you into this, all right, now it is time to get into work. I know that a lot of speakers like Tony Robbins or Brendon Burchard have their own rituals that they do before they get onto stage to get into this positive state of mind of knowing that they can achieve anything. So what is something that you could do to set up the SHOWTIME trigger for yourself? Do that and you will automatically get into this powerful state of, all right, I need to be working right now. Tip number 7, break down the task and do the absolute minimum in order to get started. Usually the hardest part about a task is to get started with it in the first place. But when we get started, we usually tend to continue working on it and make significant progress. So in order to beat this procrastination, I would say, of getting started with this task, you need to break it down into small manageable action steps and then take the easiest thing that you can do and just do that. Because if you're going to take the easiest task that you have, which you usually can do in a couple of minutes, and finish that, you're going to feel good about yourself because you have already made some progress, and 80% of us are going to continue working on the task that we have because we feel good about making progress. So break it down into small action steps and start with the easiest task that you have, and you will see yourself gaining momentum and doing more and more and more until you have finished the whole task. Tip number 8, practice creative procrastination. The truth is, we cannot do all the things that are on our to-do list on a single day. So we actively need to procrastinate on something in order to prioritize the tasks that we need to do. And we need to start and do the things that are actually going to have an impact on our lives and in our journey of making progress. Procrastinate on the boring, unimportant tasks and do them for later when you are lazy, when you don't really feel like it. But do the things and break down the tasks that are truly important in your life that are going to have the biggest impact. By practicing creative procrastination daily, you will slowly get into the habit of doing the most important tasks first and get rid of the things that are just keeping you busy but not really making any progress in your life. Tip number 9, challenge yourself and challenge time. Whenever I turn over this hourglass of 30 minutes, I can literally see the time passing by all the time, and I challenge myself to do the most work possible during those 30 minutes of time that I have. And sometimes I even evaluate a task of how long do I think it's going to take me to do that task and challenge myself to be faster than that. So try it out yourself. Take a task that you might have and allocate a time of how long you think it's going to take you to finish that task, and then challenge yourself to be faster than the time you have allocated to that task. Because by challenging yourself, you kind of like gamify this whole process and you just become eager to be better than your estimate. So just try it out. It works really well. Tip number 10, take breaks, drink water, stretch. Sometimes we tend to sit so long at our desk working on the task that we had in front of us that we totally forget to drink water and just stand up and stretch ourselves a little bit and take a little bit of a break. If you're in a flow state and you are incredibly productive, don't bother about it. Just keep on working as long as you are really productive. But if you notice that you are getting slower and slower and you can't really think anymore clearly, then take a break, drink a lot of water, stretch yourself a little bit, and then continue working on the tasks that you have. And the last tip, tip number 11, is to pick a powerful and motivating reward that you get to do or have once you finish the task that you need to finish. Because we are people of instant gratification. We want to be gratified instantly. That's why we tend to binge watch some Netflix, eat a whole bag of chips, play some video games, go shopping. Because we are instantly gratified. We get this pleasure, we get this entertainment, and we feel good about this. But actually doing the work that we need to do is usually not gratifying because it is delayed. We need to be working a lot until we get this gratification in the long run. So that's why we need to set up powerful rewards that motivate us. So we think, all right, once I get this task done, I can do X, Y, Z. For me, for example, it is playing video games because I love playing video games, but I can only play video games when I get something done that I set out to achieve during that day. So think about what kind of reward can you give yourself for doing a task that you need to do. Maybe it's a bag of chips, maybe it's an hour of Netflix, maybe it's something else. But think about what kind of reward can you give yourself for getting the work done. Now let's quickly recap on all the things that we have talked about. Tip number 1, find your peak hours. Is it in the morning or is it in nighttime? Tip number 2, prime your day to be a good one. Start off in a good mood. Tip number 3, plan your day ahead. Each 10 minutes of planning is going to save you 60 minutes of execution. Tip number 4, have a clean workspace. Tip number 5, get rid of all the distractions. Tip number 6, set up SHOWTIME triggers. Tip number 7, break down your task into small action steps and do the absolute minimum to get started. Tip number 8, practice creative procrastination and procrastinate on the things that are not really important in your day. Tip number 9, challenge yourself and challenge time. Be faster than you thought you would be. Tip number 10, take breaks, drink water, and stretch. And tip number 11, pick a powerful and motivating reward to reward yourself for getting the work done. And there you have it, my friends. Those are the 11 tips that I have in order to be more productive and get more done in less time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments down below and leave this video a thumbs up. And also let me know, do you have some kind of productivity hack that you do that is increasing your productivity by a lot? I would love to know that in the comments down below. With that said, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. This is Robert, signing off.